So we all make mistakes. It's fine. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Britt, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should, because I talk about geeky things, and today we're going to talk about Beast Morphers, which this time for real is the season finale, not last week. So here's the thing. I was counting episodes, and I knew that there were 20 episodes in the season, then the the Halloween and the Christmas episode, so actually technically 22, and I stupidly counted the Halloween episode in for counting episodes. So that's why I thought last week was the season finale, because I was looking at the episode numbers, because I knew last week was the 20th episode, but that's because the Halloween episode also happened. So there you go. So yeah, everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. Let's just move on from that, and we'll just talk about Power Rangers Beast Morphers, the actual season finale. If you guys would like to skip the full episode recap, like always, I have this timestamp right here for you guys to be able to do that. So enjoy that. Have fun. If you guys remember last episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Devin was kidnapped and brought to Evox's lair, and Evox was about to get his body. My cat just found a paper bag and is now stuck to it. So, she's fine. She does it all the time. So there you go. You're kind of caught up if you didn't watch last week's episode or watch my last review. So here we go. You got yourself into that mess. You can get yourself out. This is really funny to watch. So we open up with everybody at the lab trying to put the gate back together so that they can try and go and save Devin. Devin's dad, the mayor, also pops in to kind of confront the commander about not telling him that his son was in fact the Red Power Ranger, and kind of giving her this idea that she has no idea what it's like to send a child out into battle as a Power Ranger, and she has to inform him that she in fact does, because Ravi, her son, is also a Power Ranger. At that point, then the Rangers are kind of explaining to Devin's dad all of the things that are kind of going on and all the things that Devin has done to do good things. Devin's dad decides he wants to try and help, and they say there's really nothing you can do to help, just leave it to us. And so he attempts to do that, but in the end he really doesn't. So Nate is able to get the gate to open up, and it is not incredibly stable. So much so that when Betty gets a little too close to it, she gets pulled into it, because that's funny. And she's like pulled every which way, all of a sudden is very, very stretchy, because it's funny. She got the bag off of her. Anyway, and then when she comes back out, she still has some, issues. Everybody's kind of a little nervous of the fact that obviously, like, it did that to Betty, and now they're trying to use it to get through into this other dimension. Ravi comes up with this idea of bringing this kind of homing beacon through with him, and then that way the others could follow with the transporters. The commander, Ravi's mother, not super thrilled with the idea of her son possibly dying. So Devin's dad takes it and busts through before anybody can stop him. Everybody's freaking out. Did the mayor make it? Is he okay? And they find out that he is in fact okay. And the others are all planning on what they're going to do. Zoe brings up the idea that they need something bigger, something better, something that Evox has never faced before. And that was when they decided to combine all of their Zords together into the Ultra Zord. Every season has an Ultra Zord, and now we finally get our Beast Morphers Ultra Zord. For a minute. The others all get excited. They all get into their Zords and get ready for the new formation of this Megazord, and to transport to the cyber dimension. Devin's dad finds Devin and frees him from where he's being tied up. And, Leo was tied up once like that, and I was kind of hoping a similar thing would happen about Devin just randomly ripping off his shirt for no reason whatsoever. But I don't ever get to live my last galaxy dream ever again, now do I? I will never not think about Leo ripping off his shirt for no reason whatsoever. Anyway, the Rangers do manage to get to the cyber dimension in their Ultra Zord, and Scrozzle notices them immediately and says, hey, the Rangers are here, and Blaze freaks out, and Blaze is telling Scrozzle that he needs to send out all kinds of Giga drones, just every Giga drone he can send to the Rangers to do that, to just tear them apart. And so all of these Giga drones just appear in front of the Rangers, and the Rangers are, rightfully a little nervous about it. I would be too. But they fight off all of them very successfully with their Ultrazord. Devin and his dad have a moment where they are able to discuss him being a Power Ranger, but also their relationship a little bit. And I think I don't say a lot of good things about Devin's dad later in this video, because that's not what my notes say. So I'll just say this now. I do really like the fact that Devin and Devin's dad are able to have this conversation, because I know a lot of people who have issues with their family. I mean, I have certainly had moments with my own father, very similar to the issues that Devin has with his dad. And so it's definitely something that I think should be talked about more often, especially in kids shows, to help kids just understand that it's okay to talk to your parents, and it's okay to disagree with your parents, and it's okay to stand up for yourself to your parents. I don't think that's talked about enough. I think that, a lot of kids shows have beaten it into kids' heads that we need to respect our parents. And yes, we need to respect our parents. Don't get me wrong. Respect your mom and dad, kids. But actually, I'm talking to adults. So still, full-grown adults, to respect your parents. But at the same time, I feel like we've lost the idea of respect versus fear. And I think that kids shows really make it so impossible for you to really stand up for yourself when it comes to your parents, and that's not respect, that's fear. But anyway, that's a whole different tangent. But I'm glad this scene happened, even though I really don't like Devin's dad. I don't like the way he was written. I don't like the way that he is executed whatsoever. I think his actor is fine. His actor's great. Like, I don't mind his actor, but I don't like the execution of his character, and we're going to get to why when I'm done doing the recap. Right after this conversation, Devin and his dad are still trying to kind of move through the cyber dimension, and they see Evox's body has now been complete. And so they kind of follow him, but he confronts the Rangers and is able to destroy the Ultrazord in one just blast. That's it, just one blast. We'll talk about it later. Oh, execution. Not great in Power Rangers all the time. So the Rangers are now all out of their suit, or not out of their suits, they're out of their helmets, they're on the ground, they're with their robots. What are they called? They're Beast Bots. Devin and his dad meet up with the other Rangers, and they're kind of talking about all of these things. And then there's Evox coming up behind them. So the Rangers morph, and they decide to fight Evox, and again, with one blast, he's able to unmorph all of them. Evox then leaves without destroying them to just go and teleport to the city to destroy the city. And so that's what he does, and the others are all trying to figure out how to stop him, but obviously, like, he's just too darn powerful to stop. So then Zoe brings up the idea that if they destroy the Morphex tower that they stole, then that would mean that Evox's Morphex in his body would become too unstable and would also explode. So Devin's like, cool, I'll go destroy that. You guys go stop Scrozzle from sending Evox to Earth. So they all kind of go their separate ways, and Devin goes off to destroy the tower. Cruz does say that the Racer Zord is okay to use, so they're just like jumping in, because they used all of the Zords, right? To create the Ultra Zord, they used all of the Zords, and all of the Zords were destroyed. How? Execution is not great in Power Rangers. Evox is now in position to teleport, and Scrozzle is working on teleporting him out. And that's pretty much that scene. Devin, Cruz, and the Racer Zord are heading down underneath the tower to destroy it from below, where they find a new Zord just hanging out, and guess who's inside of it? Blaze. Where was Blaze before? Not there. We're gonna talk about that too. Execution. It's not great in Power Rangers. Devin and Blaze engage in a fight, in a battle with each other, and Devin is able to destroy Blaze's avatar, much like last episode when Ravi was able to destroy Roxy's avatar, which meant that Blaze was going to wake up. The others all find Evox and Scrozzle, and Evox is already starting to be digitized to be teleported to Earth, and Scrozzle escapes before Nate can shoot him, and so then Nate runs to the computer to try and stop the digitization, and he's working on that to try and just stop the teleportation from actually occurring. He's able to do so, leaving Evox right there, which I don't even really know if Devin did something or if stopping the digitization did something, but all of a sudden the tower became unstable, and Nate's telling Devin to get the heck out of there. And so I don't know. Execution is not always great in Power Rangers. Hasbro, lines are open. Not even kidding. because the execution of this season, we're going to talk about it. It's fine. The tower collapses and everybody makes it through the portal. Of course, we need the "did Devin make it?" drama. I mean, we always get that drama. It's fine. Like, I don't think there's ever been a season of Power Rangers where there hasn't been has the Red Ranger made it, or has the actual lead actor, whether it's the Red Ranger or not, made it. We've always had it. I think every single season of Power Rangers has had it. Every time we have an action, adventure, anything, it just is there. Did the person die or did they live? Oh, look, they survived unscathed. Gundam does it, for God's sakes. I mean, it is very common in action adventure stories. Just very common. It's not a me against Power Rangers thing or me against Judd Lynn thing. It is literally just, this is an action adventure thing, but it's such a trope and it just makes me laugh every time. It is then that Blaze wakes up, but we don't really get much from Blaze. We also don't get much from Roxy. We see Roxy once at the very, very end, and that is all we see of Roxy for this entire episode. You'd think that they would have had her be more involved in this, since she knows, you know, Evox's lair and things like that. You would think that they would have her be a little more involved. Anyway, it's fine. Execution of Power Rangers isn't always great. We then jump forward what sounds like a week, or 2 weeks, I can't remember. I literally just watched this episode and then set up to film and then filmed. Anyway, my short-term memory is awful. We jump forward some time, and the mayor has now been reelected. Devin's dad has now been reelected as mayor, and he presents the Rangers with medals of valor. Ben and Betty are then presented with medals of valor as well, and they come out, and Betty is in this like big balloon suit, because apparently it helps with the whole stretchy thing, because she's still having issues with when she was pulled into the portal, and because it's funny. And I immediately went, oh great, they're gonna give her a medal and then they're gonna poke it on her and she's gonna go flying all over the place because it's funny. Exact same thing happened because it's funny. Ben and Betty aren't funny. It's not fine, actually. So then they all get together to take a picture. We see Devin's dad's hand is glowing, and so we're implying something with Devin's dad for season 2. But then they all get together. This is the only time we see Roxy taking a selfie with everybody, and then that is all there is to it. That is the season finale. Officially this time, I promise, the season finale of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, this time for real. Yeah, so how did I feel about it? Not great. Okay. So last week, I actually was really excited. Last week's episode was great. Last week's episode was it hit its potential. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I liked it a lot. It felt like a good season finale. It felt like a good hook. It felt like I needed more. And I remember at that ending being like, oh my goodness, when does season 2 start? Because I really want to see it. I don't want to watch the Christmas episode because I just want to see more of the story. I actually got excited. At the end of this episode, I was like, that was it? Okay. Everything felt like it was just anticlimactic. Like, literally everything felt anticlimactic. You know, like I said, they have this Ultra Zord. We finally see this Ultra Zord for the first time in an entire season, and Evox destroys it in one blast. I'm like, that was anticlimactic. Like, I just didn't like it. And then we have the Rangers fighting Evox in their suits, and again, one blast, they're demorphed. I get that the whole point of that was to emphasize that Evox is incredibly powerful and that his body is incredibly powerful, but there are other ways that they could have emphasized that, not made the Power Rangers seem incredibly weak, and make it anticlimactic. Judd Lynn. You know what, here's the thing. If Hasbro doesn't want to call me making the new showrunner, Judd, if you just want to give me a call, Judd, Chip, whatever you're going by this season, I think it's Judd this season, give me a call. You and I will talk Power Rangers. You and I will discuss how to write better. We will discuss how to execute better. We will discuss how to hire actors better. We will discuss how not to use physical comedy with people who don't know how to do physical comedy well. We're just going to talk about Power Rangers and how you can make it better, because you suck at your job. You just do. This was a season finale. Now, here's the thing. Season finales always have to have a hook. Devin's dad's hand glowing, not enough of a hook. What we needed was if they're implying that Devin's dad is going to, like, maybe Evox is inside Devin's dad. Maybe that's what they're implying. And now next season, Devin's dad becomes the villain because he's actually Evox now. It's always possible. Or is Devin's dad an avatar and Devin's real dad is still stuck in the cyber dimension? We don't know. Could be a lot of different things that they're implying. But either way, I'm guessing they're implying that Devin's dad is going to have some form of villainy in the next season, especially with how proud he is of his son, which we're going to get to in the season finale here. That obviously there has to be some kind of bait and switch with that. Here's the thing. You see this hand glowing, you see him concerned, and then he looks up at the Rangers, and then he gives a sly grin. That's a hook. Like, if you're going to use one person as a hook, you give them an actual hook. You don't sit there and be like, oh, glowing hand, wonder what that means. No, that's not how that works. You need to have a decent hook. Last episode, we had an amazing hook. We had the Red Ranger captured, and I even said in that episode, in that video, these are not episodes, these are just videos. I said in that video, this is one of the first times, if not the first time, we've had the Red Ranger captured at the end of the season. And then it wasn't the season finale. And I learned from the comments that it in fact wasn't, that I looked it up and found my mistake, and anyway. But yeah, so here's the thing. That was a good hook. That was the hook in which my demographic is gonna go, I need to watch next season. Now granted, kids would be like, I just want to watch Power Rangers, because that's the way I was as a kid. But the demographic that's watching Power Rangers is my age. Like, you need to do more. You need to do more. And this was not a good season finale. This was too finale to be a season finale. It's kind of how I felt at the end of Dino Charge Season 1. Because the end of Dino Charge Season 1 was the exact same thing. Well, and Ninja Steel too. Ninja Steel was like this too. Mega Force wasn't, and I can't remember Samurai because I don't give a shit about Samurai. Oofda. No. Anyway, where the threat is over and we've won, and then the first episode of Season 2 is like, oh no, we haven't. I just don't like it. There needs to be a hook. There needs to be a reason to get people to watch it the next season. That's all. I have to charge my camera again because I forgot to charge it before filming. Anyway, let's just talk about the one thing I do like about this episode. What I did like about this episode is the fact that it was a little bit darker. You guys know I like darker stuff. I like when things have a little bit of an edge to them. Even in kids shows, don't shy away from the darkness. Even if your demographic is kids, you also have their parents to think about. And I think that that's something that I think a lot of kids shows have forgotten over the years. Back in the 90s, that was something that they thought about all the time. There were either adult jokes or darker themes for the parents to enjoy and the parents to discuss with their children later if that was how they decided to parent. In this case, I feel like Power Rangers has kind of fallen into that same idea that it's just a kid's show, and that is far from the truth. It's, like I've said many times, my age group that's watching it, kids aren't as excited about Power Rangers. The reason why they made the lightning figures is because they know that we are watching. These are not, I mean, they're toys, yes, but they are also for my age demographic. I do like that it was a little bit darker. Even the cinematography was a little darker, which I appreciated. I really liked that. It did give me some reminiscence of RPM in a sense, mostly because I just finished rewatching it not too long ago, but it did kind of give that same kind of dark feel to it, and I really appreciated that. But yeah, so that's what I did like about it. So let's talk about other things other than the fact that it just felt too finale for me. What are some of the things I didn't like about this? The scene where Devin meets Blaze, I actually had to rewind the episode to go back to the last time we saw Blaze, because I was like, did I miss Blaze finding out that the Red Ranger was about to go destroy the tower? No? Okay, then how did Blaze get there? Like, why did Blaze go there? I mean, yes, we've made it clear that Scrozzle could see where the Rangers were, that the Rangers had gotten there, but never at any point did they execute the idea that they knew that Devin was going to go destroy the tower. So why on God's green earth was Blaze there? Convenience writing has been something that I've complained about a lot with Beast Morphers, and an issue that I've had with a lot of Power Ranger seasons, especially during Neo Saban. There's definitely convenience writing in previous seasons as well with Disney and original Saban, but convenience writing is one of my least favorite things in the world. I hate it as far as television is concerned, or movies, or whatever it is, whatever art you are telling, whatever narrative art you are telling the story of. And so convenience writing, like I've said before, if you guys haven't watched my videos before, convenience writing is a character needs to be somewhere, so we just put them there. There is no execution in how the character got there or why the character went there, what the character's motivation was to get there or to do the thing. The character is just there, or the item is just there. They need the item to be there, so the item is just there. Community made fun of it actually in one of their Christmas episodes where Abba was trying to find the meaning of Christmas, and Pierce, Chevy Chase's character, goes, well, I mean, couldn't it be anywhere? Couldn't it just be, you know, there? And then all of a sudden it's just there. The meaning of Christmas is just there. And it's just funny to me because it's like, it's so bad in that regard where I don't like convenience writing. And so the fact that Blaze was in this other location, not morphed, and then all of a sudden now Blaze is morphed and in this other location and inside this Zord, and we never made it clear that Blaze was going anywhere. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Execution isn't always great in Power Rangers. This is a common complaint that I have with Beast Morphers, and that is just Ben and Betty. Do I have to say more? They are not funny. So we need to stop. I mean, I know they are not filming anymore, so I know it's over. I know that anything that I say will not make a difference in Ben and Betty's characters or Ben and Betty's appearances in the show. This is a cry to Hasbro, a pleadingness to Hasbro. Please, 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 please do not follow Neo Saban's mentality of needing these stupid comic relief characters that are just using slapstick with actors who don't know how to do slapstick properly, actors who do not know how to overact properly, actors that are too green to be able to do that. If you need Bulk and Skull back, then you need Bulk and Skull back, or you need actors to the same caliber as Paul Schreier and Jason Narvi as far as pulling out that Laurel and Hardy act. You cannot recreate that magic. You know, I mean, Disney did some of that too, but Disney did it better because Disney actually used seasoned actors to do those things. As a matter of fact, they used the same actress in Ninja Storm as they did in Dino Thunder for the same character archetype. Does that tell you anything? They used the same actress to be a main character twice from season to season, because she was just a seasoned enough actor to do that kind of thing. They can't use unseasoned actors. And so if you're going to continue to hire Americans to play all these main character roles, and you're going to have a show that is filmed in America that is not unionized, then stop using the characters, because generally speaking, ununionized actors are usually very green and have not joined the union yet. And so they're not seasoned enough to do that kind of acting. So just stop. Just stop in general. We do not need ever again another Ben and Betty. We just don't. We just don't need it. We just don't need it. We just don't need them ever again. Again, the actors are fine. I have nothing against the actors at all. We just don't need those kinds of character archetypes ever again. That's all there is to it. Devin's dad. I don't like how they executed Devin's dad in the regards of he was only proud of his son when he found out his son was a Power Ranger. There should have been something else that made Devin's dad proud of Devin, other than, oh, you're a Power Ranger now, so I guess I'm proud of you. And the one line that really kind of triggered that response in me was when he goes, I've always looked up to the Red Ranger, so in a way, I've always been proud of you. That is not a good response to tell your child that you're proud of them. You're going, I mean, I've always liked that Red Ranger, so now that I know you're the Red Ranger, now I'm proud of you. It's such a problematic message regarding relationship between a child and their parent in that regard, because I don't think that's the right message to be sending. That you have to do something to earn your parents' trust, to earn your parents' respect, to earn your parents' just pride in you. I find that incredibly problematic. I just did not like that writing at all, and that just bothered me tremendously. When that line was said, I was like, okay, I do not like Devin's dad, so I almost hope he becomes a villain next season and that they have to kill him, because I'd be happier with that. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is going to be much like, again, a thing I complain about a lot in Beast Morphers, which is it felt rushed. This felt very rushed. It almost felt like they needed to integrate the last episode with this episode a little bit better, because I felt like last episode didn't feel as rushed. I mean, it felt rushed, but it didn't feel as rushed as, say, this episode did. This episode felt like it ended and I was like, that's it? Like, that's it? that's all we get. Like, that's the season finale. That just felt so quick, and I just did not appreciate it. I did appreciate the fact that I have something I have to go do today, so I don't have a ton of time to get this video done. But I don't appreciate it as a storyteller, because I feel like it felt like they just moved it along too quickly. They need to get off of Nickelodeon, where they can make longer episodes with less commercials. Like, I would love to see them do Netflix and do a full 30 minutes of show versus the normal 20 to 22 minutes of show with commercial. It would be nice for them, sometimes up to 25 minutes per episode, depending on how many commercials, but Nickelodeon is usually 20 to 22 minutes of showtime. So there's that, because obviously when it comes to kids shows, they're trying to actually sell stuff in between the show. Like, either the show itself is a 30-minute commercial for a toy, which is the truth of Power Rangers to an extent, and plus all of the commercials in between, especially this time of year. But either way, I would love to see them be able to bump it up to a full 30 minutes of showtime if they could just get off of Nickelodeon and go to Netflix or go to Hulu or go to Amazon Prime or go to somewhere else. Just not Apple TV, because I refuse to give Apple money, and I would have to be forced to give up watching Power Rangers forever if they went to Apple TV, because I don't give Apple money. So yeah, I would love to see them go streaming. And for that reason alone, plus my demographic is not really watching cable anymore. We're watching streaming, we're watching stuff on our computers, watching stuff on our phones, we're watching stuff on Netflix. We have Netflix instead of cable. I am lucky enough that I rent my parents' mother-in-law suite and they have cable, so I can use their cable. And it's great. But if it were up to me, I probably wouldn't have cable myself. I would just have all the different streaming networks that would get me all the shows that I watch. But anyway, so that's all I've got for you guys this time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, how you felt about it being the season finale. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going forward into season 2. I'm very excited to see what's going on with season 2. If you know anything about season 2, I don't think it's aired in European countries yet. I don't think so. I think it's just aired season 1 in European countries, but please no spoilers if you do know what's going on. I don't like spoilers, so please do not give me any spoilers in the comments, but do let me know what you guys think is going to happen in season 2. Are you excited for Jason to come back? Are you wishing it was a different Ranger? And if you could pick any Ranger to come back into the Power Rangers lore, who would you pick to come back into Power Rangers? And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys this week. I have to run and do other things. And so yeah, you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys all on Thursday if I get a video done. I'm hoping I do. I'm hoping I can get one done, slip one out this evening when I get home from the things I need to get done. But other than that, you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys all next week. If you guys just watch my Power Ranger content, I'll see you guys all next Monday. If you guys watch all of my content, I'll see you guys this coming Thursday. And do stay tuned to my vlog channel. I'm rendering a vlog right now that'll go up on my channel before this video goes up, I'm sure. But yeah, so there you go. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye! Oh my god, my nose is driving me crazy. If you guys didn't see my post on Twitter, I now have Jason Lightning figure as well. I ran into him at a Target, and I couldn't not buy him. He's my favorite character in all the Power Rangers, so. And he's coming back to Beast Morphers. And I swear to God, if they use the Sentai with Gryffindor, I am going to, like, lose my mind. Because that's not okay for multiple reasons, and I'm not going to spoil why. Bye.